According to Carl Jung's psychological insights, these 8 signs can assist in recognizing individuals who harbor hidden animosity towards you. May wish to observe your shortcomings. It is indicative of a lack of genuine support when they fail to acknowledge your successes. When an individual truly values your presence, they commemorate your achievements with the same fervor as if those triumphs were their own. They exhibit enthusiasm, pose inquiries, and convey genuine joy for your accomplishments. Nevertheless, individuals who harbor unspoken animosity towards you often struggle to express authentic happiness for your successes. Observe these telling responses, swiftly diverting the conversation following your commendable news, offering tepid congratulations before transitioning to another topic, or entirely minimizing your achievement with remarks such as, "Oh, that could have been accomplished by anyone," or "You merely experienced a fortuitous turn of events." Jung noted that this behavior arises from profound feelings of envy. Your accomplishments evoke their insecurities, rendering it difficult for them to recognize your successes. They may be concerned that your achievements somehow undermine their own standing or bring attention to their perceived shortcomings. It is essential to recognize that authentic support includes both the journey of your development and the outcomes achieved. Intentional exclusion unveils profound negative emotions. When an individual harbors a concealed aversion towards you, they orchestrate circumstances that result in your exclusion from events, discussions, or gatherings in which you would typically participate. Such occurrences seldom arise by mere chance. One may observe acquaintances unexpectedly formulating plans without prior notification, despite one's usual inclusion in the collective. Additionally, dialogues may shift abruptly upon one's entrance, implying that the subjects at hand are deemed unsuitable for one's ears. Jung acknowledged exclusion as a significant manifestation of social rejection. When an individual intentionally excludes you, they convey a distinct message regarding your worth, all while preserving plausible deniability through justifications such as, "Oh, I assume someone else had invited you," or "It was merely a last-minute decision." The pattern of this behavior is particularly revealing. It is not uncommon for individuals to overlook the inclusion of others from time to time. However, when a particular individual repeatedly neglects to acknowledge your presence, it suggests a deliberate choice rather than mere inadvertence. Sign 3 indicates a tendency to engage in rivalry across various aspects. Although healthy competition can serve as a source of motivation, it is essential to distinguish between amicable rivalry and an individual who transforms every interaction into a contest due to underlying feelings of resentment. Jung posited that an overabundance of competitiveness often conceals profound insecurity and bitterness. When an individual engages in competition with you across a spectrum of domains, ranging from professional accomplishments to personal achievements, social media interactions, or even inconsequential issues such as parking spaces, they are disclosing an intrinsic desire to establish their own superiority. This behavior emerges when dialogues consistently transform into occasions for them to surpass your experiences. For instance, if you share a vacation anecdote, they promptly counter with elaborate accounts of their more extravagant journey. When you bring up a challenge, they swiftly interject with a more significant issue they have triumphed over. They seem unable to permit you even a fleeting moment in the limelight. This arises from their view of you as a potential adversary rather than an ally. Each accomplishment or admirable trait you hold seems to overshadow others, fostering an implicit urge to perpetually assert superiority. Indications that they mimic your actions solely to surpass you, although imitation may be seen as a form of flattery. It is essential to recognize the difference between drawing inspiration from someone and deliberately replicating their work with the intent to surpass or displace them. This conduct unveils profound animosity and jealousy. One may observe that this individual begins to emulate your interests, stylistic preferences, or modes of expression soon after your initial introduction. Instead of recognizing your impact, they portray these aspects as if they were their own inception, frequently asserting a greater authenticity or proficiency than you possess in your domain. For instance, following your introduction of a new pastime, they abruptly immerse themselves in the same pursuit, often equipped with costly tools or networks unavailable to you. Alternatively, they may echo your distinctive insights to others, presenting them as their original ideas, subtly conveying the notion that whatever you can achieve, they can surpass. Jung posits that this arises from a nuanced interplay of envy and identity insecurity, manifested through the appropriation of what distinguishes or elevates one's individuality or achievements. They seek to assert those attributes while undermining your uniqueness. Observe closely if they exhibit a dismissive attitude towards the very elements they have appropriated from you, particularly in light of your ongoing success in those domains. This paradoxical conduct of emulating you while concurrently undermining what has been appropriated unmistakably indicates the presence of deeper negative sentiments. When individuals frequently interrupt or speak over you, it is indicative of underlying communication patterns that can unveil their genuine sentiments. When an individual persistently interrupts you, speaks over you, or disregards your contributions, they are exhibiting a profound absence of respect that frequently suggests more profound negative dispositions. Jung acknowledged that our modes of communication reveal underlying attitudes we hold towards others. A person who holds you in esteem will intentionally create an environment for your expression. Attentively consider your viewpoints and interact thoughtfully with your concepts, even amidst differing opinions. Conversely, or display clear signs of disinterest while you're speaking. Even more telling is their response when confronted about this behavior. An individual who holds you in regard is likely to express remorse and seek self-improvement, whereas a person harboring negative sentiments may react defensively, reject accountability for their actions, or even attribute the issue to your perceived lack of engagement. Jung would interpret this as an implicit endeavor to assert dominance and manipulate the narrative. By interrupting, they are effectively conveying that your thoughts and perspectives hold less significance than their own, or perhaps are deemed entirely inconsequential. Sign 6. They reference your past mistakes. All individuals are prone to errors. However, a notable distinction exists between sporadically invoking pertinent historical occurrences and systematically preserving an exhaustive record of one's shortcomings to be cited at opportune times. Jung recognized that our inclination to concentrate on the errors of others frequently unveils deeper insights into our own psychological condition. When an individual persistently references your past mistakes or humiliating experiences, they are indicating a preference to characterize you by your least favorable moments rather than acknowledging your development. One may observe that they possess an extraordinary recollection of your past missteps while conveniently overlooking their own analogous transgressions. They may frequently present these recollections in the presence of others or during instances when you are experiencing a sense of assurance. The significance of this lies in the context and timing. A person with negative sentiments may opt to raise these issues in public forums, where you're unable to adequately defend yourself, particularly during unrelated conversations, moments of celebration, or by embellishing the details to amplify the severity of the situation. Jung posits that this behavior frequently arises from a reluctance to confront one's own flaws. By maintaining a focus on your errors, they evade the necessity of addressing their own shortcomings, all the while eroding your self-assurance. Sign 7, they deride your aspirations or ambitions. Our passions and aspirations embody our most delicate and authentic selves. By sharing these elements, we provide a glimpse into the sources of our joy and the values we hold dear. The response of an individual to these disclosures profoundly reveals their genuine sentiments regarding you. Jung discerned that disparaging an individual's most profound passions seldom pertains to those aspirations. It concerns the reduction of the visionary. When an individual persistently derides or diminishes that which holds significance for you, they're disclosing a profound disregard for your inner landscape. One may observe individuals employing sardonic remarks regarding your passions, utilizing condescending phrases such as "that's merely a pastime," or "you're lacking in realism," or perhaps discreetly exhibiting eye-rolling when you convey your excitement. They may present criticism as merely practical or as a means to spare you from disappointment. However, such justifications seldom align with their tone. What renders this behavior especially telling is its selective application. An individual who truly possesses a sense of concern may, from time to time, articulate reservations regarding particular elements of your intentions, all the while endorsing your overarching trajectory and honoring your independence. This conduct frequently arises from their own unmet aspirations or apprehensions of being overshadowed. By stifling your enthusiasm, they construct a reality in which the pursuit of dreams appears futile, thereby rationalizing their own hesitance to embrace risks. Sign 8 indicates that they appropriate your ideas or efforts. The ultimate indication is a propensity to assert ownership over your contributions, ideas, or achievements. This conduct demonstrates a reluctance to recognize your worth and potential. Jung noted that our capacity to acknowledge the contributions of others is indicative of our genuine disposition towards them. Individuals who hold you in esteem will inherently strive to provide you with the acknowledgement you deserve, even when such actions yield no immediate advantage for themselves. Conversely, an individual harboring hidden animosity may persistently assert proprietorship over your ideas, presenting your contributions as their own, or deftly alter the narrative to diminish your involvement in successful endeavors. One may observe the utilization of expressions, such as I was mentioning previously, following the introduction of a concept, or the use of "we" when referring to a project that was predominantly executed independently. Additionally, there may be instances of reiterating one's contributions without proper recognition. This intentionally diminishes your position and reputation. By methodically appropriating credit for your cognitive and practical contributions, they enhance their own status at your direct expense. A zero-sum approach that unveils deep-seated animosity. It is essential to recognize that discerning these indicators is not rooted in paranoia or a predisposition to assume the worst in others. Rather, it is a matter of valuing your own experiences and intuition when an individual's behavior consistently reflects a deficiency in respect, support, or goodwill towards you. I appreciate your engagement with this video. If you found this information beneficial, kindly consider liking and subscribing for further insights into the intricacies of human behavior and the cultivation of healthier relationships. We invite you to contribute your reflections and insights in the comment section below. Furthermore, it is essential to acknowledge that you are worthy of connections characterized by authentic support and mutual respect.